See the date, see the time, bottom right hand corner, we're back. Finished that shower. What I'm doing right now is I'm finishing up my cash buyers list. Because we got a great deal. Um, Tomorrow I'm gonna try to schedule time with the lady to go get some pictures of the inside. Because the two pictures on Zillow, I guess, aren't enough. I had one of my mentors reach back out and he was like, "Yeah, I don't know about them two pictures." So, I mean, we haven't officially signed anything yet. Technically, we did. We got the verbal commit, which is lit. So, yeah, I'm gonna try to get some good pictures of the inside. And yeah, right now you just watch me build my cash buyers list.
And then 2,400, and then boom, 6,000. I was there, right? Now don't go to somebody that's been in this business for forever and they have 12,000 like me on their cash buyer database and be like, hey, will you give me your list? It's not gonna happen. Next, it's your biggest asset in this business. Your cash buyer database is your asset. Typically, somebody's not gonna buy your brand. That's probably the only other asset you have. But in this business isn't something that you sell someday. This is a cash machine to buy assets. Nobody's gonna pay for anything, but somebody would do that, pay for this, pay for your cash buyer database. It's your biggest asset that you have. Even though you've traded with some people, nobody has the exact same list. And if you're the one getting the most out of every list, and you've got a list that is constantly responding to all the deals that you have, you've got something powerful. And next, if you need any help with any of these guys, wholesalinginc.com, wholesalinginc.com, go there, get into the academy. Academy. It's got incredible amount of downloads, resources, training, and it has something called the Cash Buyer Pack. It's going to step you through even more of a deep dive of really building up your cash buyer database. It's also going to help you to understand the next slide here. The next flip of this thing is going to be negotiating with your buyers and understanding what pictures and what videos to take. It all in the Cash Buyer Pack. Check that out. And if you're getting value out of these videos, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, put some comments in there. We love it. Negotiating with your cash buyer. Listen, when we're getting started, one of the toughest parts of this business is this a deal or not a deal? The best way to get through that is to have conversations with your cash buyer database and say, hey, listen, I'm just working on my first few deals here. Can you review this and give me a price that you will pay for this deal? I'm going to go over to on this appointment. I think I'm going to get this thing under contract or under the agreement, and I am going to give it straight to you. Just please help me out. Now, listen, I don't want you to do this for all of them, but when you're just starting out, it gives you a lot more confidence to know that you're going to get this all the way through the finish line. So talk to your cash buyers, and it's called reverse wholesaling, where you go, okay, you tell me the price, and I'm going to go get it for you, cash buyer, right? It's a great way to start. It's not a great way to build a long-lasting business, but it's a great way to start. Next, if you want your cash buyers to make fast decisions and snatch up your deals like as smooth as possible, you got to have pics and video. Make sure that you get this done. And I'm telling you, you take great pictures and great video, and you have a great reputation. People will buy your property sight unseen. It's so awesome. Next, JV. Listen, squat up with people that have done a ton of deals. Go to a meetup group. Go on Facebook. Go on Instagram. Start making some connections with people. Join us on Wholesale Hotline on this channel every Monday and just put in the chat where you live, and you'll find unlimited amount of people that will help support you. You're going to have to split that deal probably 50-50. If somebody's going to hold your hand and walk you through, but they're local and they can really make sure that this process gets done, it's worth it. Get the proof of concept and then worry about your profits. Next, dispo companies. Keegly is a great disposition company. You can literally reach out to them and find out what prices you should lock up deals at. That way you know confidently that you can get it sold. It's kind of like working with your cash buyer database, but these guys are like chomping at the bit to talk to you. Like that's literally all they do is sell other deals in there for now. So reach out to them. Next, He-Man. All right, my disposition manager Jeremy Thornburg has a saying: "Keep the power." That's how you should feel with your purchase. Make sure that this process gets done. It's worth it. Get the proof of concept. And then worry about your profits. Next, dispo companies. Keegly is a great disposition company. You can literally reach out to them and find out what prices you should lock up deals at. That way you know confidently that you can get it sold. It's kind of like working with your cash buyer database, but these guys are like chomping at the bit to talk to you. Like that's literally all they do is sell other deals and they're phenomenal at it. So reach out to them. Next, He-Man. All right, my disposition manager Jeremy Thornburg has a saying: "Keep the power." That's how you should feel with your purchase agreement. I have the power. I have what other people want. Don't get bullied. Don't get pushed around. Next, Splash Bros, right? This is all about hitting the threes. Text, email, call. You got to do all three to your cash buyer database to get as much exposure to your deals as possible. Some people don't look at their texts. Some people don't look at their emails. Some people don't answer their phone. You got to hit them in all three ways. Then your best cash buyers are going to respond on one of those three ways. So use those three ways to your advantage, right? Hit the three, right? Splash it down. Steph Curry, right? Klay Thompson. You know what I'm talking about. All right, CBE. Ooh, the most dangerous three letters in our business. Cash buyer employee. Stop selling to the same buyers over and over and over and over again. You are making 50% of what you should. As soon as they your cash buyers start taking you on fancy dinners and buying you gifts, putting their arm around you, it is a red flag. Build great relationships with them. Keep a nice healthy tension, but keep the power. Because what happens is they go, oh man, can you help me out a little bit? Can you help me out? This happened to me all the time my first 3 years doing this. So I want you to really recognize it. Don't just have 10 buyers that you know are going to close deals and then send it to them because they're going to run out of money. They're going to beat you up on your prices, and you're not going to recognize potential in other areas because you're not talking to a lot of buyers. The more conversations you have with your buyers, the more you're going to be able to recognize potential. The more you recognize potential, the more you level up your game. Next, assign design. Assignment fee, assignment agreement. It's all built in there, right? Have a really solid assignment agreement. We have one, again, wholesalinginc.com. You can download it, take it to your title company, take it to your attorney, and just make sure that it works for your state, and boom, you've got something really solid. There has to be some particular things in there. Like number one, non-refundable earnest deposit of $5,000. Let me seep this in to your subconscious so you never accept or assign a deal, accept an offer from a cash buyer without receiving a $5,000 non-refundable earnest deposit. Here's the rule. If it's after lunch that you get that assignment agreement signed, they have to lunch the next day to get it in. If it's before lunch, they have till 5 p.m. today to deposit that $5,000 earnest deposit. Because what people will do is they're like, I will take it, assign it to me. And then they don't deposit anything. Now they have complete control over your transaction. They're probably another wholesaler that's just trying to lock up your deal. You did all this front work. You spent all the money skip tracing and sending out postcards and doing your lead follow-up and doing your offer presentation. And then they just step in and they're like, yeah, cool, man, let me take that. And I'm going to just go over here and see if I can get this sold and make a couple bucks. Please make sure $5,000 non-refundable. Do not budge on this. Because why 5,000? Because it's enough to make them scared to lose it, and it's not too much to make it ridiculous, right? $5,000 is a lot to lose, but they're going to really push to get that deal done. And if you can work with the actual buyers themselves, that's better. Next, one of my favorite topics, and it's one that really goes under the radar, is picking out an incredible escrow officer or closing attorney. Escrow and title. When I started out, I had no idea what these words meant. All right, so I'm going to explain it and make it really simple. But this is your escrow officer and or closing attorney, depending on what state you're in, is a critical member of your team. They're going to either make the deal go extremely smooth or extremely rocky. So make sure that number one, you get a referral. They have to understand wholesale. They have to understand investing. They have to have a lot of experience. My escrow officer, Dina, she gets so excited when we bring her really creative deals or really, really tough deals to kind of figure out with liens and everything because it's exciting. There's people that get excited about solving the challenges going on with the ownership of property, and that's what you want. You really want to find somebody that has the experience, but one is just like a dog with it. Just like will not let it go. Will get this thing done. Just sinks their teeth into it and really attacks that escrow and make sure that the deal gets again to the finish line. So get a referral. Find somebody in your market that is going to give you a referral to the best person. Easy way to do that. You can post again to the investment groups in Facebook and just ask who is the best escrow officer for wholesaling real estate. Next, if you don't want to do that, Empora.com is making some big splashes. They're an investor-friendly, nationwide virtual. Well, they're not all the way nationwide. They're in specific states. So check out what state that they're in, but they will be nationwide. I don't know when you're going to be watching this video, so it could be. But they are awesome. It's all virtual. You can do everything on your phone. Keeps track of everything going on in the transaction, so that you can keep the seller informed, the buyer informed, and most importantly, your staff and yourself informed. So check them out. They're really doing some amazing things out there. Next, they are the Elmer's glue, right? They're the glue that holds this whole transaction together. Because when you get a purchase agreement signed, what you do is you scan it in with your phone. I use this app called TurboScan, but I think that the iPhone just does it. So if you don't want to pay for the app, that's cool. I don't know what it is for Android. You guys live your life. I don't know. But you take this deal, you send it to them, and then they are working with your seller to get all the information to pay off any liens that are on the property, anything that's owed. They're the ones that reach out to the buyer, make sure that their wires are coming in, make sure that they're communicating, and they make sure that everything goes smooth so that you can go and do your job, which is finding discounted property, baby. Let them do their job. You do your job. Next, in-house counsel. Title companies have on-staff legal counsel, attorneys. You can ask them, you can ask for some time and appointment with their attorney to just go over whatever, your documents, whatever kind of deal that you're trying to structure, anything. You can reach out to them. It's powerful. It's incredible. So leverage their in-house counsel. Title companies and escrow companies make a ton of money. Now, obviously, if it's a closing attorney state, they're probably going to charge you for it because that's their job. Next, Dina, my escrow officer, connects us to all the best buyers. All the best buyers. She knows all of them. Because guess what? Her best buyers go, Dina, I need more deals. Who do you know that has more deals? Boom, Jeremy Thornburg, my disposition guy. And now we've got buyers everywhere. We had this deal, just to give you some perspective. We had this deal in this tiny, tiny, tiny little mining town in northern Arizona. And we had no buyers for this. Dina goes, oh, you got to talk to this guy. This guy buys all the properties in kind of obscure little towns and loves them and makes a fortune doing it. Called this guy up, he bought it in 5 minutes. Just like that. They're the connector. They're absolutely incredible. They streamline the process. Again, focus on conversations and offers. They focus on the paperwork. They focus on making sure that all the documentation to transfer title from your seller to that cash buyer, from one person to another, gets done. That's not up to you. Now, if they need your help, they'll reach out. But the best ones barely reach out because they take initiative. Again, they're like a dog with a bone. They're going crazy. They want to get this all figured out. They want to do it all themselves because they want you to come back over and over and over again. Next, I got your back. If you're just starting out, and maybe you've done a couple deals, or maybe your seller's unsure about the process or unsure about your company and they don't see that you've got billboards or big marketing, you say, hey, listen, why don't you talk to my escrow officer and they'll confirm with you that I close deals. I don't do a lot of deals. I'm just getting started in this, but I'm excited to work with you. And reach out to my title company. They're Fidelity Title, they're Chicago Title, they're Pioneer Title, they're Clear Title, they're Empora Title, they're all these big companies. And it makes you can leverage their big brand. They're third party. They don't have anything into this deal, right? They're hands off. They're third party. They're playing both sides to make sure that this deal gets done. So they can be trusted. This really helped me out in a couple deals early on because they were like, well, I don't see that you have a website. I didn't have a website. I was just calling people. Driving around, calling people, getting deals. And I ran into a couple deals. And they're like, well, I don't know anything about you. I don't know anything about your company. You're not in the Better Business Bureau. You're not on all these things. Okay, well, you can talk to my title officer. I just did 3 deals with them last month, and I got those deals. And I made the income. So leverage them. They got your back. All right? Next, they are really, really, really sensitive to the changes in the industry weather. What's happening out there? Are there going to be more sales or less sales? Are there going to be more flips? Are there going to be more Airbnbs? Are there going to be more long-term rentals? Are there going to be more development? All of these things the title companies know because it all comes through them. And again, it helps you peer around some corners. It lets you make smart decisions that are going to affect your business in the next 60, 90, 120 days. So these guys are absolutely powerful. Do not miss this one. Man, that was awesome. I loved all 3 of these ones. And we've got 2 more videos coming up, so make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Make sure if there's any questions that you have here or anything that you want to add, put it in the comments section, and I'll see you on the next episode. I love you. Bye.
What's up, guys? Zach in here. In today's video, I'm going to give you the ultimate cash buyer dispositions guide today on exactly how to sell your deals in under 24 hours in real estate wholesaling. This is going to be a really fun, exciting one, guys, today because I'm going to show you how to sell your deals exactly, how to just become the king or queen of dispositions in your real estate wholesaling operations. I'm jacked up. I'm excited today. Guys, let's break down exactly how to pull your cash buyers, how to dispo all your deals in exactly the right way on how to sell your deals for massive profits in your real estate wholesaling operations. I'm telling you, in these crazy times in real estate wholesaling, especially coming up in crazy market cycles, especially ones that we're seeing in the future, dispositions and cash buyers is probably going to be one of the most important pieces of the pie for success in your real estate wholesaling operations. But here's the problem. I got to get you jacked up, get ready. So without further ado, cue the intro. Let's break down cash buyers and dispositions. Let's get it. Woo!
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Gotta wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up.
Oh yeah. Come on, guys. Gotta jack you up with a song. Come on, let's get it, guys. So, guys, today we're breaking down how to sell your real estate wholesaling deal for massive profits in your real estate wholesaling operations. So without further ado, let's kind of break down the ultimate cash buyers and dispositions guide today, and let's break it down. So number one, we're kind of breaking things down, guys. This is day 24 of the real estate wholesaling 30-day challenge. But also, if you're coming in for the challenge, welcome. But if you are here just to see the content on this, this is going to help you. You don't have to be in the challenge to learn dispositions like this, but do recommend everybody in the description below in this video actually go out here and see the 30-day challenge. The link is in the playlist below. But let's kind of break down exactly how to get going. So guys, today I'm going to break down exactly how to sell your wholesaling real estate deals for top dollar to your cash buyers, how to find cash buyers, and exactly how to assign your real estate contracts the right way in real estate wholesaling. So we are on day 24, and we're going to break down exactly how to sell it, how to sell your deals for top dollar for the best success possible. So number one, let's talk with beginners here because I know we got a lot of questions on the channel here. Dispositions, right? dispositions, what is the definition of it? In my personal opinion, dispositions is the opposite of acquisitions. And I don't like saying the definition of a word in a word, but acquisitions is acquiring a property, actually putting it in the company, right, and actually selling that deal. Dispositions is disposing, getting rid of, throwing it away, just get rid of it, right? Dispositions is kind of in the word, but basically us trying to sell our real estate wholesaling contract, so our contract on the deal for a profit to a cash buyer. Think of it as flipping something, like a garage sale flipping. I used to do garage sale flipping, where I would buy, I used to do this, I'd buy a comic book, right? And so I used to do this, I used to buy a comic book in 2015, 2016. I knew, for example, there's going to be before I got into wholesaling, I knew there's going to be an Avengers movie and another Avengers movie. I think it was Age of Ultron, right? So for example, I used to buy these, I used to buy comic books like this, like an Avengers one. This was Ultra Force. That's not the right one. But I would buy an Avengers comic, right? And I knew that there's going to be a movie, right? So I'd buy that comic for $5, pretty cheap, and then I would be able to sell it for $200 if it had Ultron in it. So it was pretty crazy. Todd says there's a sound issue, so I'm going to try to confirm this and see if there's any audio issues here. I don't think so, but just going to make sure that we don't have it. I don't want to ruin anything here. Yeah, all right, audio's working. Just making sure, guys. But for example, I knew that comic book, for example, was going to have a movie. It was actually going to be really valuable. So I bought it for $5, and then I sold it on eBay for $50 to $100, and those worked really, really well. Now that's kind of inside information I got, so that's it might not pertain to wholesaling so much, but it's me knowing something's worth something. So for example, I know a house is worth $100,000, right? And I know I can get on a contract for $80, so I'm going to sell it for $100, knowing I can make $20 on it. So that's the point of real estate wholesaling. Again, we put a property in a contract and we sell it for a massive profit. So let's kind of break down why I love having a lot of cash buyers. Let's kind of break this down. Also, Todd is literally a beast in Richmond. He's an amazing wholesaler. But why I love having a lot of cash buyers? Number one, you can sell these deals for more money. And this is one big thing I'm always telling you guys, how I have a massive cash buyers list and massive vetted cash buyers list. Number one, you can sell these deals for a ton of money. And this is bringing back to the point of what is dispositions. We are selling our wholesaling contract for a profit to a cash buyer, or a landlord, or a flipper at a discount. We sell our deals at a discount. We're not trying to bid them up for the craziest, especially in times like these. We still are to a point, but not at a point where no one makes money. We still want our cash buyers to make money. So if we're selling our deals, we want to have a lot of cash buyers. So this means, again, that means I get to have multiple people. So I'm selling that comic book, for example. I would rather try to sell to 100 people versus just 3 people, because that 3 people could not want to buy for a certain price. Remember, people buy things based on what they're willing to buy for, not the intrinsic value of it. One example of why I like having a lot of cash buyers is, let's say you're in the desert, right? We got Las Vegas in the background here, right? So let's say somebody's been hiking in Las Vegas and they got lost and they've been in the desert for 8 hours, right? And they're a millionaire, right? Let's say I have 100 millionaires in the desert, right? And I know that for these let's say 100 millionaires, 95 millionaires all brought their waters. They drink a gallon of water. They hike. They're fine, right? I got these 5 ones that are all millionaires. They make millions of dollars per year, and they're stuck in the desert for 8+ hours. And I offer to sell them a bottle of water, and they all got $1 million cash, right? Those 5 people, out of those 100 million, if I have all these buyers, they would probably pay me, if I offered $100 for that bottle. I got 1 bottle of water, and we're stuck in the desert. They would probably give me $100, $200 for that water bottle. Why? Everyone else that drank gallons of water will not even go close to paying me $100 for it, right? And that's kind of the thing. I know the water bottle is probably worth $1 to $2, but the problem is that what I have to a certain buyer is worth a lot more than to another buyer. For example, if I have a deal and I have a cash buyer that just loves renting, and he can rent this out and make 20% cash on cash, he's gonna love it. But the flip opportunity is 10, 15, thousand profit on it. Not the best, but that person that can make a really good cash on cash return that values that certain type of property is most likely going to pay me more than it's the certain type of buyer. So how do you find these certain type of, you just got to get more buyers. I want to get 100 of them, you're going to find those 5 that are willing to just quote unquote overpay. So it's what someone's willing to pay for that contract. I get asked that a lot, how much can I sell a deal for? It's what someone's willing to pay you for it. It's insane. Why is a Tesla worth something? Because someone's willing and able to pay 40 grand for a car, where if I had a Prius or something, then only somebody's willing to pay 20K. Is that Prius the same car base? Kind of, it's just the same thing, but just different, right? Quote unquote, it is easier to sell my deals. I put quotes on there because if you have a lot of bad cash buyers, it's harder to sell your deals. That's why I'm saying it's going to have a lot of cash buyers that are vetted, that are actually good cash buyers, right? That work very, very well. Also, you got to understand that cash buyers don't control me. I think that's one thing you guys should understand. You don't want your cash buyers controlling you or the flow or the entire deal. That's why it's really got a lot of buyers, because you don't have to deal with the snack that someone might give to you. I want to make sure, because if I have a lot of buyers, they actually want to buy from me. I'm not actually chasing them to buy my deal, and that's a different dynamic. So if you're brand new, guys, just quick recap of who I am. My name's Zach, I'm a 22-year-old real estate wholesaler, house flipper, creative finance guy. Why you should be listening to me? I'm a real estate investor at Stewart. I run a 7-figure operation with my dad, Rick. I locally wholesale in Florida, and I virtually wholesale in over 40 states. There's no bio. You want to read that, but basically run a 7-figure operation. I'm working on trying to be the biggest virtual wholesaler out there, but still working on that. So just scaling up our operation. So here's legal disclosure. Of course, we got to put cute pugs today on it, because the pugs are very important with legal disclosure. I want to entertain people while I say boring legal stuff. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a realtor. Make sure to put that little restricted mark there so the realtors feel good about themselves. I'm not a financial advisor, guru. I'm not a guru. I'm not a CPA. I'm none of those things. Please seek legal and professional counsel before doing anything I say, anything at all. Check out the pugs. I like them with the fries, but I think the one on the horse is my favorite. I love pugs. They're really cute. I don't have a pug, but just kind of funny. But so, guys, let me just tell you something really quickly. I am trying to stop these $5,000 wholesaling guru courses. Remember, guys, the more you like this video, the more you subscribe, which means you're going to see even more free content out there. I don't upsell. I don't have any cash grabs. I don't have any games. I just give everything for free. So if you do me a favor and just hit that like button and subscribe, I would really appreciate that. That'd be awesome. So let's break down the wholesaling real estate process. I know some people have been DMing me lately on how I should organize things better sometimes. I try to make the PowerPoints versus me just talking to you guys, because I feel like a lot of visual learners like that. So one thing I want to switch for somebody, people learn differently, right? So these are color-coded of a real estate wholesaling process. Maybe that helps. I don't know if that's too much for you, but try it out, see if that clicks with anybody. Some people click with colors, so whatever. If you're colorblind, I'm sorry. But these are basically, we're doing the 30-day wholesaling challenge today. We are on day 24. We're kind of breaking it down. We're getting a little closer. We're going to do a deal in 30 days right now. So days 1 through 7 again is marketing. We're finding the distressed property with our marketing. 7 through 14, we are locking up the deal. We are calling with the seller. We make sure they sign the agreement and buy the house, and we take pictures of the property. Number 3 is we actually find the buyer, right? We find the end buyer, the rich landlord, house flipper, to buy the agreement from us, our contract, to us for a profit. And then at days 18 to 24, again, we're doing the walkthrough on this deal. So we're going to walk the buyer through the house. We're going to see it, get the assignment of contract signed, we sign the paper on there, and we walk them through, right? They sign the assignment. And then next one, last closing day here, last week, 24th to 30th, we close the deal with the title company, and we get a check mailed or wired to us. So that's pretty cool. That's the color coding on it. So give a shout out today to Fernando. Fernando's been working with us on here. He has his closing today. So shout out to Fernando. I think we're JVing on the deal with him. It's over 20K on that deal, I know. But yeah, we'll do a podcast with him. But shout out to Fernando here, since we're talking about closing days. Congrats on him. He's doing his first deal in Arizona. He was pretty cool. He called me today. He congratulated me, congratulated him and his wife. Pretty cool. But guys, what is a cash buyer? This is another question I get. We're starting out new. We don't know what a cash buyer is. Let's kind of break this down, right?
Guys, a cash buyer is a person who will be buying the contract from us. We will be assigning the deal. We're assigning our contract to this person for an assignment fee, aka a quote unquote finder's fee in real estate wholesaling. That's what we sort of call it here, a finder's fee. There are multiple ways to find these type of buyers, these cash buyers, quote unquote. Let's kind of break down, this stuff. That's what a cash buyer is. So the next question here is like, what makes a good cash buyer, right? Multiple things make a good cash buyer. Number one, they have the funds already to buy the house. We need a proof of funds. That's one thing we're going to break down. We need a proof of funds from these cash buyers, where it's not a wholesaling deal. These cash buyers, they have to have a legitimate motivation to buy the deal, right? We need actually motivation from the seller, but we also need motivation from the cash buyer. Why do they want to buy this deal, right? Do they want to rent it out? Do they want to flip it for a profit? Is this like a special 1031 exchange thing they're doing? We need a motivation, or they want a land bank, right? We need a motivation, because if they don't have a motivation for it, you could be doing a wholesale. If I ask a wholesale, hey, why are you looking to buy this house and trying to daisy chain it? They're not going to answer you, right? Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to sell it because I got to buy. So you're going to get the motivation. See if you're dealing with the wrong cash buyer. Every good cash buyer has a motivation. Most of it is all money, right? They want to flip it for a profit. They just want to rent it out. You just got to figure it out. They need to be okay. They can even do the BRRRR strategy, right? That's fine too. I'm not a big fan of the BRRRR strategy, but some people, cash buyers, they like the bigger pocket stuff and they do it. Motivation for it. Profit. Proof of multiple things. Quote. Let's kind of break down, this stuff. That's what a cash buyer is. So the next question here is like, what makes a good cash buyer, right? Multiple things make a good cash buyer. Number one, they have the funds already to buy the house. We need a proof of funds. That's one thing we're going to break down. We need a proof of funds from these cash buyers, where it's not a wholesaling deal. These cash buyers, they have to have a legitimate motivation to buy the deal, right? We need actually motivation from the seller, but we also need motivation from the cash buyer. Why do they want to buy this deal, right? Do they want to rent it out? Do they want to flip it for a profit? Is this like a special 1031 exchange thing they're doing? We need a motivation, or they want a land bank, right? We need a motivation, because if they don't have a motivation for it, you could be doing a wholesale. If I ask a wholesale, hey, why are you looking to buy this house and trying to daisy chain it? They're not going to answer you, right? Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to sell it because I got to buy. So you're going to get the motivation. See if you're dealing with the wrong cash buyer. Every good cash buyer has a motivation. Most of it is all money, right? They want to flip it for a profit. They just want to rent it out. You just got to figure it out. They need to be okay. They can even do the BRRRR strategy, right? That's fine too. I'm not a big fan of the BRRRR strategy, but some people, cash buyers, they like the bigger pocket stuff and they do it, right? They have to be okay with you, aka the wholesaler, making any amount, not a certain amount, any amount for the assignment fee. They have to be okay with you making stinking $500,000 on the assignment contract if that's what it takes. Okay, I think a lot of people don't understand that. I think a lot of wholesalers don't do it the right way, but you got to understand that. These cash buyers, they have to be okay with you making any amount on the assignment, because the assignment fee for you doesn't matter. It's the purchase price that matters. If you have a cash buyer that's not okay with it, you will not do a good deal on there. You might as well lose off on the deal, and you're not going to make a lot of profits on it. So we do not like that. So again, we kind of talked about this on the first week of the challenge, but just in case for everyone brand new here, how do I get my free contract, my free assignment contract? We're going to break down the assignment contract because we're dispelling our deal today. We're doing dispositions on it, right? Dispo is short for dispositions. We went over that definition. That dispositions is selling the deal. Just go to www.flipwithrick.com/contract, or go on the bottom right here on freewholesaling.com. It comes to the contract module. You can actually go in there and download it for free. Wherever you really like, that is the best way to be going after there and finding hits. Okay, guys. And kind of let's break down title companies too. I get a lot of questions like this all the time, so I do want to answer this. Another reason why I do really I want to go hard in the paint on making these type of information like this PowerPoint wise is because you guys ask me questions. So this is a big question I get, what title company do I use for cash buyer? Just watch this video and I break it down for you guys. It's awesome. It's amazing. So the cash buyer must use our title company, not your title company, not their title company, not your grandma's title company, not your realtor's. No, you're using the title company you have that is wholesaling from, that is in your best interest, not my best interest, your best interest. That is what we got to do. Cash buyer must use our title company. Okay, and I think it's very important. And I know a lot of people, they sometimes get confused. They don't know how much to sell a deal for. To a point. If you just, so let me answer this question. Let me talk about reverse wholesaling for a second too. So number one is how do I figure out how much to sell my real estate wholesaling deal for? One thing I always tell everybody is, if you're having trouble with, or if you're struggling on how much to sell your deal for, I would honestly just find the ARV minus repairs, multiply that by 83, 84%, maybe even 80% if you really want to get conservative, and just sell it at that price. Or you can, if you really want to, just ask the cash buyer how much they're willing to pay for it, and then kind of negotiate from there if you really have to. And that is reverse wholesaling. So let's kind of break down reverse wholesaling, right? This term gets thrown out there a lot, and I kind of want to answer it, and it's a really powerful tool I use all the time. So if you are reverse wholesaling, so if you're wholesaling vacant land, for example, if you don't have good ARV, if you don't have good comps to your real estate wholesaling deal, some people just don't have good comps, and it's fine. I get it. Some people they're struggling with their comps, and that's fine. I get where most people come from there. Sometimes get better and better. If you have a weird or quote unquote unusual deal or property in real estate wholesaling, I get it. You might need some help with that. So I understand that. Some people just have really weird deals. I know somebody, they actually went to me and they tried coming to me with this Cleveland deal, because we're JVing a lot. And this deal is so weird. I went to some of the cash buyers, I don't even know how much to pay for this, but reverse wholesaling is really powerful. So if you have a weird deal, you can't find good ARV, you don't have any comps for a property, right? If you're wholesaling vacant land, you should reverse wholesale the deal. And this comes back to the next question, what's reverse wholesaling? Well, reverse wholesaling is basically when you ask the cash buyer how much they would buy the house for before you lock it up. Very, very important, right? So, for example, you ask cash buyer before you lock it up, I'm looking at this lead, I don't know how much it's worth, right? I might go to a very trusted cash buyer and ask them, hey, Mr. Cash Buyer, I have this lead, I'm trying to get this under contract, I'm going to the appointment tomorrow, or do the call. How much would you buy this property for? Just for I'm at a loss for how much I should lock this up for. I don't want to waste your time or my time. Well, Zach, I'll probably pay around $100,000 for that if it's based on this, and this, right? Okay. So if I know it's based on this, and this, I can pay 100 for it. And so the cool part with reverse wholesaling is hey, I go to the seller now, and I'm like, how much am I selling? They're like, oh, I'm going to sell it for 75. And I'm like, okay, well, can we do 50? No, wait, you lock it for 60, right? Now you make 40,000. That negotiation, you're basically buying $100 bills. What I mean by this, if you're negotiating with somebody, and I go to somebody and say, hey, how much would you how much can I buy this for? Like $100. So if I give you, or how much can you give me $100 worth? How much would you give me point whatever ounces of gold? Right? I'll give you $100 for it. Okay. And so I go to you and I'm like, well, how much can you sell this gold for? Like $9. So I can take this gold, give it to you, give me 100, make $10. Like that's kind of what we do here. You're basically buying $100 bills for $80, which is very profitable, right? So if they say they'll buy for 100,000, you know that you need to lock the deal for a lot less, but then it's profit, right? You only do this for extremely trusted cash buyers and it works really well. The point is anything under 100,000 is pure profit for you, and you can negotiate that at the end. So let's kind of break down, guys, the walkthrough, right? How do we walk these properties through, all that kind of stuff. So we get locked up, right? And now we want a cash buyer. So again, we kind of break down the process there. We get the property under contract. We try to find our cash buyer. The cash buyer says, okay, I'm going to cash buyer, right? We got them, got proof on all that stuff. Then we want to walk the person through the property, right? And before we do the walkthrough, I just want to say before I break that down is, number one, we need to vet them, right? At freewholesaling.com, we kind of break down a little more detail. But first of all, like I said before, we need a proof of funds. What is a proof of funds? Again, a proof of funds is basically showing that they actually have money in their bank account to actually buy the deal, right? I think that's really important. So if they don't have the money in the bank account, they're not going to be fine. If not, okay, if you make a profit on the deal, not good, right? These are all the things I kind of said before. That's all stuff you got to do before the walkthrough. And so if they're good with it, it's fine, right? So we're going to do our walkthrough right now, right? What is the walkthrough? Again, the cash buyer needs to see the property. Most of them, Like some do silencing, but not a lot. It's not worth your time wasting time on that. But like these cash buyers, they will need to see the property, and they're gonna have to pretty much put eyes on the house before they buy it. They quote unquote got to test drive it before they inspect it and see it right. Pretty important, you'll need to let the seller know that you and your quote unquote partner will need to swing by the house and look at it, since your partner basically never got to see the house, right? Good excuse, right? You're gonna walk the cash buyer through the house and send them the assignment contract after and get the thing signed, right? Pretty cool. So what if you're doing virtual wholesaling, right? I think that's the next part here. It's like, what if you're virtual and you can't do the walkthrough yourself, right? This is a huge question all the time. Well, if you're virtually wholesaling, you will need basically to do the deal with a virtual walkthrough. How do you do a virtual walkthrough? You're going to need a boots on the ground. A boots on the ground is that type of person that actually walks the property for you. You actually pay the money to take pictures of the house, to maybe get the seller to sign the contract in person if you have to, show a property, right? How do you find these people? Sometimes you can pay a realtor. You can have a JV partner do half of it with you. You can go to Facebook groups, basically job listings, and pay someone to do it. Oh, usually not a wholesaler, we don't like that. I like paying about $50, $75 to walk someone through the property. I like realtors because they have instant credibility, and some of them, they're good $50, right? Now, this is another question I get all the time, and this is one I kind of want to preference before I say. I switched the computer for a second, but is selling your deal illegal, right? And this is a big question, man. And guys, if you have questions, I'm going to answer them in the comments today. So FYI, like, if you got your question, I'll try my best to answer them on the YouTube comments. We're going to get a lot of comments, but I'm going to try to answer every single one I can today. Hopefully I can. But again, we found the right buyer, right? We vetted them out. They have the proof of funds. They're okay if you make an assignment, right? You walk them through, and you're going to go get the contract done. A lot of people ask me still, is real estate wholesaling illegal? Like, is the assignment, is the dispo, like, how can I do this the right way? And a lot of laws in wholesaling, the dispo is the thing that's being regulated. And that's the thing I do the right way. So kind of let me show you the right way to be doing it, right? And so is selling your deal legal? Is the dispositions process legal, right? Well, wholesaling is basically not allowed physically in Illinois and in parts of Philadelphia if you don't have a certain licensing. Philadelphia, you get $200 license, you're fine. Illinois, after doing more than one deal, it's pretty much hard to do unless you're licensed. But you can virtually wholesale outside these areas. And I think that's one thing a lot of people really get confused with me. I don't get it. Like, it makes no sense to me, but whatever. But like, wholesaling is not allowed physically in the market, but you can virtually wholesale outside of it. I think that's one thing a lot of people get confused, but it's 100% something you can do. So hopefully that helps you out. But like, you can virtually wholesale outside these areas if you're not a realtor. So you're fine. You are, even if you're not a realtor. So you are selling an equitable interest on the contract, not the physical property. I'm trying to see the way I wrote this. I don't know how I wrote this way, but you're selling equitable interest in the deal, not the physical property. You're selling equitable interest for not selling property. So the one thing I can tell you is don't publicly market or sell your deal. Don't publicly market to selling the deal. What do I mean by this? Like, there are laws in wholesaling in other states. So for example, there's laws in Oklahoma and Nebraska about publicly marketing it. Arizona has a disclosure type thing on it, but to a point, if you don't publicly market, you're fine. Arizona's a little weird about there are loopholes around it, which I'll break down a little more. But it's all about intention, and then there's really no teeth to that. But like, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not gonna break it down too much. You're fine in Arizona still. But it's kind of crazy the way Cougars kind of spin it. But just don't publicly market or sell your deal. And this is like in Florida, you can actually publicly market the deal in like a weird way. That's bad. That in Nebraska and Oklahoma you can't. But I still in Florida never do this, and I don't recommend anyone do this. And whenever they make like a ban or a regulation about wholesaling, it's because it's probably kind of unethical or bad, and that's never a way I teach wholesaling. So if you just listen to the way I tell you how to wholesale, you're gonna be fine. I think one thing people get freaked out on, but like, you can't publicly market and sell the deal like that. So what I mean, like, don't sell the deal by posting the property as you actually own it. I never understood people who do that, and I've never promoted that ever, and some people do. For example, if you lock up a property, right, for 123 Main Street for $100,000, right, you want to sell for 120, make $20,000. That's good, right? Hey, awesome. Here's the problem. I'm not going to act like a realtor and act like I own the house. So some people actually will post that deal on Zillow for sale by owner, which kind of weird because what is a for sale by owner? You act as if you're the owner of the property. You act as if you're selling it yourself. And Zillow is a private company, so quote unquote, like, it's technically not illegal because it's a private corporation. You're telling a corporation to own a house. I'm not a fan of it. Like, I don't think you should be doing it. I don't think it should be illegal. But like, if you're not the owner, I think the owner can go after you. But like, they can probably try to sue you. But like, if you don't own the house, don't publicly market. Like, don't publicly market until they own the house. Or people do that on Facebook, like, oh, I own the property, right? No, you don't. Don't act like you're the owner of it. It makes no sense. So don't do that. Basically, publicly marketing the property, selling is basically acting like you own the house and not the contract. You need to act like you're selling the contract, not the house. So don't just, basically at the end, don't post the deal on Facebook or Craigslist, and you'll be fine. You can it's legal to actually go out here and privately market to a cash buyer that is interested if you need to do that. Some people don't even have to do that, right? But sometimes you can just privately market. Just call a cash buyer, say they want to buy the contract, the equitable interest for you, and 9 times out of 10, that is the legal way to do it. Don't act like you own the house. Privately market the property. So this gets to the question. This is like the $1 million question in wholesaling real estate, right? How do we actually go out here and find cash buyers? I think that's the biggest one out here. That's the biggest question I get, right? How do you actually find cash buyers? So get a screenshot if you want this, but these are the cash buyer tiers I've kind of listed here. So before we break down how to find cash buyers, we got to understand the types of cash buyers. And there's like different levels of them. These are the ones I like going after. There's also landlords on here that are kind of in between these, but like, these are the tiers of cash buyers you got to deal with, right? Number one, we have our slumlords. These are people that buy over 50 houses a year. They will pay you the least for the house. You'll get the least type of assignment contract on there. Those are never the best ones. Next year, you have high level. This is all people that pay the least to pay the most. These are what I call high level flippers. They will flip 20 properties a year. They usually have 2 or 3 flips going on at the same time. These are like full time, very, 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 very savvy investors. So very savvy. They pay at least the most everyone except for this. I call slumlords. Like, these are people that just buy a ton. These are not hedge funds. Those are different. But yeah, medium level flippers, they'll do like 5 properties a year. They'll do 10 properties a year. Like, they're decent. They probably pay the average, right? I would say 83%, right? And then you got like 80, and then you got like 70, right? Like, so they'll pay 5 to 10. Those are good. For virtual wholesaling, those are most of the buyers I deal with. And then one of my favorites is the mom and pop flippers. This is either a realtor. This is somebody that's trying to get into the house flipping game, right? They'll buy 1 deal a year, at most 4, like once a quarter, and they want to do it all themselves. They want to do the whole HGTV type thing, the house flipping TV show thing. They'll pay a ton for the house. They just don't want to pay it on the MLS. The medium level flipper doesn't deal with MLS property. The mom and pop like it. So when they can buy 83% less than 100%, which is the MLS basically 100%, 95-ish, they're saving so much money. They're saving tens of thousands of dollars dealing with you. They'll pay a lot. They don't usually ask any questions. They're not really too much of a hassle. My favorite is the fresh out of the seminar flipper. The person that's basically on 0 deals. This person's the hardest. They require a lot of work, and they're usually not good buyers after 1 or 2 of these deals because they're just, they don't want to flip too much. They'll pay the most for the deal. They just want the house flipping seminar and they just want a deal to get their hands dirty. They pay the most for it. You're still trying to give them some profit on it, but you squeeze most of the profit out from them because they're okay just making 10K on the flip, right? And that's the honest truth. So those are the best ones out there, and they're willing to pay more. Those are people in the desert. They're just desperate to get a deal, right? They don't know how to market anything like that. I call these fresh out of the seminar flippers. Probably gonna switch that name. But so what is our list building rules, right? So when we're pulling cash buyers lists, when we're marketing for cash buyers, trying to find cash buyers, we want to understand these certain rules, right? First of all, we want quality over quantity. I think that's something very, very important. Quality is more important than quantity here, right? We want to deal with, I would rather, this is better than anything, 5 amazing highly qualified cash buyers is way better than 3,000 bad ones. And what makes a high quality qualified cash buyer? Someone that's okay with us making a big assignment fee. They don't care. Somebody that has already bought properties, cash, they already own properties, so they understand the process really well. These are people that are pretty easy with the walkthroughs. They don't want to talk to the seller. They follow your rules very well, and they just want to help buy more deals from you. And they don't ask questions too much. When you ask questions, like they won't talk to a seller, try to ruin the deal. They're very trusted, right? They're very professional. They have proof of funds. They actually bought properties from wholesalers before. They understand the process. Those are very high quality, in my opinion. They're absolutely amazing, right? And this brings us back to the question, like, how do we find cash buyers? Now, I don't have 10 hours today to go through every single one, but if you go to freewholesaling.com, I have hundreds of hours where I break it all down. If you really want to get the nitty-gritty on each different one, but let me kind of break down some of them, right? So number one is like Craigslist, for example. We love Craigslist. Craigslist is an amazing one. So you can actually go on Craigslist, find cash buyers. Now, I'm not the biggest fan on like posting your deal on Craigslist, right? But if you really want to, I would say you can actually go on Craigslist and find decent ones. So like if you find for rents on Craigslist, you actually have to vet them hard. It's a good one. It's a free way. So I'm gonna list that. You go on Facebook groups to find your cash buyers. What is a Facebook tech group? You can find it's at freewholesaling.com, and you can basically find over 250 cash buyers like under an hour. You just go to real estate investing groups. You search at gmail.com, and then you kind of search drop email, and they can find cash buyers dropping their email. It's really easy and fast to do. Remember, at bottom right here, freewholesaling.com, I have about 2 hours where I just pull this for you and show you the process. I have my scripts and everything like that. And also, you go to Facebook groups, and actually, you go to a real estate investing group on Facebook. Okay, you go to a real estate investing group like the Houston Real Estate Investors, and you post this ad copy, which I'm going to show you. You can get cash buyers just in your DMs pretty easy now. I feel like I sell this for $3,000, but I get it out for free. You go to Facebook Marketplace, find people trying to list their properties and see if they're cash buyers. Cold calling cash sales is hands down probably my favorite way right now. You're just going straight to the source, right? You're cold calling people that have bought properties, all equity. So they've bought a property for cash, and there's public record that they bought property for cash. I love calling them. It's a lot easier, a lot less vetting, right? Local real estate investing associations are really good. Realtors, actually, if you pay a realtor $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on a marketing fee, they could actually go to a cash buyer and just overpay for the property. I love those. Cash sales, again, I'm saying that again because you actually go to cash sales without like listrei.com to doing it. So go to listrei.com or zacday.com and actually pull cash sales. But you actually go to the public records and find cash sales. A little harder to do. That's why listrei.com here is listed on there. Actually doing hedge funds. Hedge funds are still great. Some are a little different right now, but like they're still good. You can JV, use other wholesalers for it. It's a good way to do it. You actually do Facebook and Instagram ads if you really like want to get creative. Go to new real estate agents and have them kind of just before you if you really want to get hard, like go hard in the paint on it. There's definitely a lot of stuff on there. It's interesting, right? Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. And that's the way to do it. So the next one here is free cash buyer hacks. So let's kind of break down some of the Facebook cash buyer hacks, right? Like for free. Number one is free Facebook groups. I recommend everyone goes to. Like this is the biggest ad copy hack I can give you. This is like a $3,000 course I'm giving for free right now. A lot of people are like, yeah, guys, watch. So if you go to Facebook groups, actually pretty decent, you can actually do it. So I recommend everyone go to your local real estate investing group. Go to this one, that one, which way you like going to Facebook groups, your local county, market, city, state, whatever. I want to go to the big wholesaling ones, the big cash buyer ones, and I want you to post this. Now, since I'm the creator of this ad copy, you cannot do it in my group because I don't allow stuff like this in my group because it's only wholesalers allowed, and I don't like spam. That's why our group grows pretty well. But this is something for other people. I tell everyone to spam, not other ones, but like, what is it? So this is my quote unquote thing. You can screenshot this. I'll give it a second for everybody. This is all at freewholesaling.com how to do this. This is stuff I used to do in my local market that was absolutely just destructive. It's amazing. There's like multiple wholesalers since like the 2010s. For like the past 10 years, people have been doing this type of ad copy. I kind of created it the way that I like it. It's a little exaggerated to a point, but it's pretty good. I just say houses at a deep discount. Basically say if you are in the Port St. Lucie market, and if you're looking to buy off-market properties, off-market houses, whatever one you really want to use for a certain percentage off-market value and make big profits on your flip or next rental or flip, please private message me or drop your message below. People have emojis, and I'll send you some of these deals. These are really, really good ones. You're not lying to anyone. If you have deals, it's really cool to post these, and you have a lot of cash buyers coming at you here. This is stuff you have to pay a ton of money to actually like learn this stuff. This is a lot of stuff. It's kind of crazy, but it is true though. But this is something that I've used. A lot of people use it. I think a lot of people are going to be using this. A lot of gurus, coaching programs, or whatever, they do this in different ways. And I don't break it down too much. Like, so I know some people like post this and they try to find sellers. You know, not the best way. I do it to find buyers. I've been posting stuff like this for 5+ years now, and it works really good on Facebook for finding buyers, and it works pretty well. I use for land deals, all this stuff. So I'm gonna give you about 10 more seconds to screenshot this, and I'm going to go to the next slide here. Remember, this is all replayed on the YouTube channels you're watching here, and at freewholesaling.com. Remember, the 30-day challenge is all replayed at freewholesaling.com. So 3, 2, 1, screenshot it. Give me 1 second screenshot. Boom. All right, next one. So that's how you basically build 250 cash buyers a day. Just go in those groups and do it. So how do you market to cash sales, right? So if you basically just go to like listrei.com, you can actually pull all the cash sales in a zip code or in like a hot market, for example. You're just going to pull all the cash sales on listrei.com. Remember, at freewholesaling.com, I show you how to do it all the right way. But you just go to find hot market zip codes. You're going to pull that list. You can skip trace that list. True people search it. Whatever way you want to find. You can even Facebook message these people. Cold calling is the best way. You're just going to ask them this. You know, hey, I saw you purchase 123 Main Street all cash. Is this the owner? Yes. Are you looking to buy any more houses at deep discounts or buy any more houses for cash? This is a really good way to find buyers. And this is definitely still something I recommend for you guys. It works really well for me and something I still highly recommend. Now, you can cold call the for rents. That's another really good way you can be doing it. So how do you cold call the for rents? Multiple websites you can cold call for rents, but I recommend Zillow.com. So like, what is on Zillow.com? So basically, you're Zillow.com, you go to for rents, and you cold call all these that aren't listed. You don't want to cold call a for rent that's listed by realtor. You actually want the owner who listed it. So for rent by owner, quote unquote, FRBO. You know, not FISBO, but FRBO. For rent by owner, but basically these people that are listing their own property own for rent, they work really well. So you're gonna cold call all the for rents that aren't listed with a realtor, and basically ask them this: hey, I saw you own 123 Main Street. Are you looking to buy any more houses at a deep discount to rent? Explain your wholesaler, put them through the process, and send them deals. Works really well, guys. I don't know why not a lot of people are doing this, but it works very, very well. You can also use use realtors. You can go like realestateagentlist.com. I think you got to pay for that. I'm trying to see what the cost is. It is an option, but it is something that I still tell a lot of people to use. Realestateagentlist.com. I think you got to pay for it. So I don't recommend paying for like everything, but like it is pretty cool. You know, you can actually buy a list of real estate agents if you really wanted to. I'm not associated with that guy, so I don't know. But I know it's something I used to use in the past. I actually recommend, like currently something I've been finding cash sales, and I've been finding realtors that represent the buyer. If you want to do it for free, like realtor.com actually shows buyers that represent cash sales, and that's a really good way to be doing it too. You basically put all the realtors in your area and you ask them if they want to make a fee, see if they have emails, phone numbers, stuff like that, get their information. But like basically find people and see if they want to make a marketing fee if they bring a buyer to you for wholesaling, explain wholesaling, right? You're gonna find the cash transactions, contact those realtors. It's free. Next part here is controlling the cash buyer. I think that's very, very important for a lot of people, but you need to control your cash buyer. Remember, you don't work for the cash buyer, they work for you. You're selling the deal to them. You control the deal. They don't control you, right? Cash buyers will and always will, if you don't do it the right way. I'm telling you guys, they will take advantage of you if they can, and if they can, they can figure out they take advantage of you. They are going to, so I don't recommend.
They let these cash buyers run over you. Never the right thing to do. And trust me, they will if they can. Remember, guys, you want to keep the cash buyer always chasing you to a point where you want to have multiple ones, so they have to actually try to get the deal from you, right? Scarcity mindset for cash buyers is another one I always recommend. Cash buyers to a point, if they're in a scarcity mindset where they can't get the next deal right, it's going to work very, very well for you. And that's why having multiple buyers and really good deals. So, again, let me break down my rules for cash buyers. I do have specific rules when it comes to building cash buyers and cash buyers in general, which I kind of said before. But these are kind of the 5 main ones. If you got to write them down and make sure you got to ask yourself these questions when you're pulling a cash buyer. If you ask yourself these 5 questions, very hard. That's a wholesaler trying to daisy chain you or anything like that. So, what are these 5 different questions, right? So, number 1 is they must understand and be okay with you making a killer assignment contract. They have to, we kind of say this before, but hey, Mr. Cash Buyer, are you okay if I made $100,000 on this deal? Even though if you're going to make like 20, yeah, I'm okay with that. And they see me, oh, he's going to make 100. But you got to understand this is really, really important. And if you don't ask this question, you could have somebody that is not okay with making an assignment fee and they back out of the deal. Some people are just like, oh, he's making $50K on the deal. I don't want to buy it now. I feel like I'm getting gypped or something. That's a bad cash buyer. That's when you don't. I used to have deal cash buyers like this. Never good, right? Number 2, they must follow your commands. If they slip up once on a walkthrough, they will lose all future deals, and there's no talking to the seller or any communication with the seller at all. This is your deal. If they refuse any of those things, this is not a good real estate wholesaling deal for them. This is not a good cash buyer for you. You do not want to be dealing with them. Number 3, they must use my title company, one that I use, not your title company, my title company. They also need to pay for all the closing costs, right? Number 4, earnest money deposit is $5,000 and that is non-refundable. Okay, if you agree to it, knocking that $5K back, gotta buy the deal. And number 5 is you have one walkthrough look for the deal. I'll give you another one on closing day if you really, really have to, which most people should. But you'll get one walkthrough before you sign the assignment, before you sign the assignment of contract. Okay, you get one. All right, those are my 2 rules. So again, this is the assignment of contract. Again, Rick kind of went over all the contracts at freewholesaling.com, but this is the one we use. Remember, get for free at freewholesaling.com. Rick kind of breaks down how to say it the right way. You get them to sign it right. You walk into the house, they agree, you meet at a secondary location, right? And you basically send the assignment of contract to the title company once it's all signed. Make sure the cash buyer sends the EMD, and you're good to go. Now, this brings us back to dead time. And what is dead time? So there's the whole real estate wholesaling process, like we brought it down before, right? We get a property under contract, right? And then we find somebody. So we put the property under contract, we send it to the title company, we have earnest money, right? It's all good, right? Now I have it locked up. We do our marketing, all that stuff. But we get it locked up. We find a cash buyer. We vet them, make sure they're okay with all the rules, right? We walk into the house. Okay, I'm good with it. And then they sign the assignment, and I locked it up for 100K, and I'm selling for 120. I'm making $20,000 on the deal. Awesome, right? Here's the problem. So I get the assignment signed, and they agree to give me $20,000 on the assignment fee. All good, right? That's perfect. That's all we want, right? Now, the problem is when we get that assignment signed, making 20K on the deal, let's say I got this property on contract January 1st, and then I have the assignment signed January 15th, and they agree to close February 1st, right? Here's the problem. I have February 15th through, January 15th all the way to February 1st. That quote-unquote time is what I call the dead time period. Dead time is basically the time where you're not finding a cash buyer, you have the deal already done. The problem is if you just don't talk to the seller for 2 weeks, you ghost them, you ghost the cash buyer, and just assume everything's going to be perfect, you might have a crazy blown-up situation on your hands, and that's never good. So we don't want to be dealing with that too much. So these are the rules for dead time in between you get the property signed and closing day. So the time between you getting the assignment contract signed, cash buyer sends the earnest money to the title company, and closing day, these are the rules you must have. Number 1, you have to call the cash buyer once a week and get an update on the deal from them, title, all that stuff, just following up with them, make sure they're good for everything. You got to call the seller 2 to 3 times a week, just checking in with them on this deal. I'm telling you guys, this is very important that you need to check in with your cash buyers. You need to check in with your seller, make sure everything's good. If they need help or anything, say, just check in on you, make sure everything's good. For closing, we're still all set. Just if you have any questions or anything, do that 2 to 3 times a week. Have title company call the seller at least 2 to 3 times a week. This is a must for me. But I basically make my title company call my seller 2 to 3 times a week, making sure that we're all good. Because sometimes, like I've heard from title company, I don't think this guy's legit. Sellers think like that sometimes. So that's why you have to have the title company call the seller 2 to 3 times a week. Very important, guys. You also want to confirm the title is clear and have no issues. That's why you got to call the title company too. Just make sure everything's all good. These are my rules for dead time. Then boom, we're at closing day. We get our check, we repeat, and we're all good to go. Really nothing for you to sign at closing day except picking up checking it wired to you. But at the end of the day, that is the dispositions process. That's closing day. That is how to sell your deals to cash buyers and make tons of profits in a real estate wholesaling deal. So that's it. That's my ultimate cash buyers guide. That's how to find cash buyers, dispositions, all that stuff. Kind of try to ran through all of it to give you everything you can really condense for the best value possible. Yeah, guys, I'm back on the lives. So pretty cool. We're going to just get through the challenge really well. Really excited, guys. A lot of people getting their first contracts done. So pretty awesome. So I'm getting a lot of questions actually on here on the disposition side. So I do want to basically answer them and kind of break it down. But one question I do want to answer for everyone asking this too. So I did put this in the group, how do I join the live? How do I, so I am doing my one-on-ones today, but it's in a different way. So let me explain this. So a lot of people are, a lot of people want to get the questions answered and I like streaming them, but here's one thing I'm going to do now because I kind of miss doing these. I like making it a little more private for the one-on-one. So I feel like I'm not answering too many of the YouTube comments, which I used to do before because I'm just doing so many one-on-ones. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be, for the rest of this video, I'm going to be answering YouTube comments. And then if you're on the Wholesaling House for Real Facebook group, then my mastermind, I'm going to do a private mastermind Zoom, probably maybe 2 or 3 times a week. I don't know how much, but today at 6:30, I think, or 6, really depends when I get the after I'm done with this video answering some of these questions, I'm going to do a private Zoom for everyone in the mastermind. They actually get to talk to me one-on-one. Privately, we can actually, the reason why I like the Zoom a little better than the one-on-ones on the YouTube channel is because I'm treating it as a mastermind, so you can actually network on the Zoom with other people. The comments, everyone's on the same chat board there. It's kind of cool. So I'm actually going to be doing, after this video, a private networking meetup, wholesaling meetup on Zoom. It's going to be pretty cool. So everyone asked me the question is like, how do I actually join the meetup? How do I join the Zoom? How do I do this? Because it forces not forced participation, but like you're actually in the thing. So like we're just like, oh, why don't we do a meetup or something? Well, let's do a virtual meetup. So if you're part of Wholesaling Houses for Real here, awesome group, 54,400, which is insane. But basically right here, I shared the link 4 hours ago here. It is Wholesaling Houses for Real. Is it? So no one-on-one link for the YouTube anymore. That link now is a Zoom that we're going to do maybe 2, 3 times a week. I got to figure out when. But okay, 6:30. So 6:30, I'm going to do my one-on-ones, and then I'm going to do the group networking event. So 6:30 here. Here's the link just to join the Zoom. I don't want to post it too much, but we're going to get a lot of people on here, which is going to be cool. Actually, I don't know how many people. It might not. Hey, you might get a private one-on-one Zoom with me, and no one's going to be on it. It's going to be you and me chim for hours, right? That might be cool. But just go to Wholesaling Houses for Real. After this live, I'm going to try to accept everyone right now. So if you go to Wholesaling Houses for Real, after this video, I'm going to try to accept everyone on it, so everyone can have a link on there, and you can actually talk to me one-on-one for a private Zoom, and then maybe we'll chop it up and to see if we can have some good questions. Might post that back on the channel here if you get value from that. Like, it's going to be a private one where basically nobody is going to be able to see it today on it, so it's basically very private. If I tell you something, it's not that private mastermind question won't be public that day. Maybe it's public in the future if we post it or something, but like for that week or something, no one's going to be able to get that answer, which is pretty cool. It's private, it's not going to be live, which I think changes it a little more. And so I'm treating it as a event, a networking event, which is really cool. Those Zooms ain't too cheap to run if they got those servers and stuff, but pretty cool. So if you want to talk to me one-on-one, just go to Wholesaling House for Real Facebook group and we'll get it done. So let me ask some of the questions we got here. And see. So Zachary Weaver, he's wrong on this one, and I'll tell you I don't like this, but he likes ARV times 80 to 83% minus repairs. And if you know, that is Zachary, great name, bro. I don't know why the E there. It's ZACHARY is the right way to spell Zachary, but no, guys, don't be doing it's ARV. Okay, minus repairs multiplied by 80 83%. That's the way actual cash buyers do it. And if someone runs a 7-figure wholesaling operation, that's the right way to do it. Zachary, if you are doing a 7-figure operation, I would love to see how you're even making that work with that crazy calculation, but hey, whatever, right? Kai says here, how many times should you visit the property after getting under contract? Just want to be sure. So that's actually a really great question. And in my personal opinion, if you do it right, it's only one, right? Because when you market these cash buyers deal, right, you're privately marketing to them, like I said here on the video, but like they have to already agree to the contract price before, because you're giving to them the contract, they have to agree to the contract price before they walk through it. So it's like 90% chance that they walk through and actually do it. I don't do a walkthrough unless they're basically already committed to the deal. It's kind of a formality walking through the house. That's kind of the way I treat it, Kai. So that's sort of the way I do it. So once or twice at most. And I always tell them, hey, my cash buyer partner's got to go through the property. And once I lock it up, I say, hey, my partner's got to go through, which is your cash buyer partner, and that works really, really well. But really good question, Kai. Really cool. The Flip of the Brick Facebook group is on pause. Yeah, that's a group we haven't had in years. That's a really old group from like 2015. Basically, Star Beyond Light says, are flies on the wall allowed on the Zoom? Yeah, if you want to be a fly on the wall, yeah, you can join the Zoom. So like FYI, you don't have to talk to me one-on-one on the Zoom. It is a meetup. Some people do go to meetups and don't say a word. Fine. You can join the Zoom if you want, but just FYI, you should network if you can. You don't have to speak on it if you don't want to, but yeah. But yeah, that kind of question is interesting though. You know, like, hey, what? It's just weird. You know, like how many buyers should I walk through there? That's it, pretty much. But yeah, so let's kind of answer some of the other questions we got here and seeing how I can help all y'all on here with the dispositions process. But yeah, so what's up, Kenny? What's up, guys? What's up, Michael? Let's go. It's awesome, bro. Everyone loves the song, you know. I love to see it. Zachary says, what's up? Toledo, I actually say Toledo, Ohio's good market. And another reason we're doing the Zoom is a lot of people have questions outside dispositions, and I want this video just to stick to disposition. So yeah. Zach Van Ness says, time to make fat stacks. Love it. I love to see it. Song grew on me. Love it. What is up? What's up? All right. Squat up. All right, Patrick. Awesome. What is it? Hold on. BHAM. They saying Birmingham? Stands for, I think Birmingham, but all right. I don't know Birmingham, but all right. Yeah, this is Zach speaking, but yeah. That's okay. Just rewind it. Guys, this video always gets done, but yeah. So, bro, what would you say for beginners who have no idea what to do? So go to the Wholesaling Challenge. This is day 24, but I would probably go to freewholesaling.com and kind of break down all the information there. Sounds loud and clear. Awesome. Anyone in the Bay Area want to connect? Awesome. Awesome. I love pugs. Love it too. Eagle, what is up? Best in the game. Appreciate it. Smash the like button. Zach is gold. Awesome. Appreciate it. The Crew Slayers. Thanks, Michael. I appreciate it, man. Zach, I'll make 100K within the next 3 months. Mark my words, Jack. Actions speak louder than words. I'm excited. So Brian likes the color coding. Appreciate him.
Most people have no idea that
all the Alabama guys know it's Birmingham. I don't know why I did not know that, but whatever.
2024, the best way to make money online is with the Apple App Store. This is because there is a brand new
property that's been sitting empty for the last 42 days. And this is a one.
If they have,
my name,
they're okay with you making the assignment, they're okay with not counting the seller, they're got the proof of funds. I don't really care about giving them the address or not. Most people just blanket just mark it out without vetting the buyer before they get the deal out to, and that's when you like screw up. So vet the buyer first and then give them the deal. Thanks, Russ. I appreciate it. Every match pairs multiplied 80%. That's most of the time. That is the right way. That is most of the time. Yeah, I would say. Let's see what else we got here. A lot of good questions today, guys. Always excited to come back on the lives. Always love the lives. You know, we're gonna a lot more lives after the challenge is over. So just FYI, I've just been traveling like crazy lately. But I'm back. So Rick will be on.
My name is Derek Lewis. I'm the owner at Razorback Electric.
My name is Sam Jimenez. I own and operate Bayshore Plumbers.
My name is Dave Cass with Cass Plumbing Incorporated.
My name is Mario. I'm the owner of Mario's AC.
I mean, we grew from about 13 to 42 employees, tripled the income.
We have over 10,000 residential customers in our customer base and a few thousand commercial customers.
When we ran into House Call, we just fell in love with it because it was something that we could afford. It was simple. The guys could use it. It worked on any system, anybody's phone. And now we've grown to, 50, 55 guys.
One of the biggest reasons we were to grow the way we were and organize has been House Call Pro.
House Call Pro has offered us the most options as far as what we're able to do. It does everything for us.
House Call has helped us out a long way. Just in the dispatching sector alone, we can be more proficient and get to our customers faster. It takes away the lack of communication.
Well, for us, House Call Pro just streamlined everything in the office. So when a phone call comes in, we can get it to the guy that's going to do the job. That's what the apps help us do. And when we come together, it's a beautiful thing.
For the value that it provides, it's incredible.
Marshall Robinson.
Berta Cornish.
My name's Mike.
My name is Joyce.
Leon. Patrick Stevenson.
My name is Noor.
My name is Angela Moranto.
House Call Pro.
House Call Pro.
House Call Pro.
We make software for service professionals to run their day-to-day operations.
The 5 core values: champion the pro.
It basically just means keep the customer first.
With every design or every line of code that we write, are we being intentional?
Go the extra mile to see our pros succeed.
Fearless innovation.
Taking those ideas and running with it and not being afraid to fail.
We are constantly innovating and growing as a company along with our pros.
People matter.
People really do matter here.
They don't just care about you as an employee, they care about you as a human being.
Do the work.
Do the work where you see needed, but not only the work that you are assigned to.
Enjoy the journey.
You really have fun at work.
We do work hard. We do also enjoy the journey.
What I love about this place, most of all, is the people.
I love the culture.
The culture, the feeling of that hominess, that the belonging.
If you're joining House Call Pro, just first thing I would say is be prepared to learn a lot.
You're going to be pushed, and it's going to really, take your career to the next level.
Buckle up. It's fast. It moves. You learn. Things grow. It's a non-stop learn fest.
House Call Pro.
House Call Pro.
House Call Pro.
House Call Pro.
Join the team. Join the team.
next week. So that'd be pretty cool. Marcus, what's up, Zach? From New York City. I know you said the market is bad. New York City's not a good wholesale market, but I've seen abandoned houses here. Should we start with these houses? Go after them, see, figure out who the owners are, and then kind of get back to me, and then sort of figure out the best way for that. Imagine this. You're on the appointment with the seller and you give them a crazy low price. And guess what they do? They shake your hand and say, yes, let's do it. You pull out your free wholesaling contract and you sign it and the seller signs it at that price. Wow, awesome, amazing. You're celebrating. You're so happy for yourself. You got your first wholesaling contract signed, but you're sitting at the kitchen room table looking at this property. Probably needs a lot of work and you got the contract signed. You're so happy, but this dreaded question comes to you. What do I do next? Every real estate wholesaler on YouTube, it just doesn't tell me what to do. They say, buy my course, I'll show you exactly how to do it all. Or they're extremely vague. They just say, go to a title company and they'll handle the rest for you. And you don't know what to do. No one's being specific with anything and you just don't know what to do after you get the contract signed. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you step by step in excruciating, painful detail on exactly what you need to do right after that seller puts pen to paper and signs that wholesaling contract. What's up, guys? Zach in here. And in today's video, like I've said before, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do after you get that wholesaling contract signed. Now, not a lot of people talk about it, but we're going to go in detail right now, step by step on actually what to do to go from the start to the finish line when you get that contract signed, dealing with cash buyers, qualifying them, what to actually do with the title company, what to say to the title company, what to say to your seller after they sign the contract to make them feel extremely comfortable with you, and lastly, how you can profit and repeat. So before we get into it, please smash that like button and subscribe so you can get notified when I give you this daily wholesaling valuable content, high quality videos coming at you every single day about real estate wholesaling and obviously help the YouTube algorithm. So let's get into it. So yes, it's true. Most wholesalers of real estate wholesaling are not going to tell you what to do right after you get the contract signed. Most gurus and coaches out there are going to show you actually how to market for your deals, how to talk to the sellers, how to actually have a cold call, do the SMS stuff, but really they'll teach you a little bit about acquisitions, but they really try to gatekeep what to do after you get that contract signed for their special course. And obviously I've not really known this problem. It's a weird one for me. I've gotten this question asked so many times and I just get the regular answer, go to the title company, they'll take care of the rest. And I fell victim to that trap. Most people want to know exactly what to do and what to say, and it just seems hard for me after doing hundreds and hundreds of wholesaling real estate deals and Rick doing thousands of deals. Just going back to my shoes 4 years ago when I was 17 years old, getting my first contract signed and not knowing what to do. It seems like second nature now, but I think a lot of people get mixed up and thinking it's a crazy complicated process. So I'm here to hold your hand and really help you get from that contract signed to that check, because it's a lot more daunting than you think. And a lot of people don't have someone just to hold their hand and help them out one-on-one with this. So let's cut the fluff. Let's get into the nitty-gritty details and let's get started. So we have the contract. I sign it, seller signs it, it's at a crazy, deeply discounted price, and we're ready to bring it to a cash buyer. So what do we do exactly when we're still at the seller's appointment, or let's say we're doing some virtual wholesaling, and we actually get it signed from there? What do we do? First of all, we need to talk to the seller while we're still at that appointment, while they just signed the contract. What you need to do is we have to basically condition the seller to let them understand that we're legit still, there's no getting out of the contract, make sure that they understand and really make them feel comfortable when we eventually bring our cash buyers to the property. Now, we're not going to lie to the seller and say, hey, we're just going to have somebody walk through, they're not going to buy this property cash, and we're just going to try to make a profit off you. We're not going to say that. What we're basically going to say instead is, hey, Mr. Seller, so glad we got this going. I can't wait for you to get a new place. Can't wait to get you cash this property. What's going to happen next? So they feel comfortable, because uncertainty in their heads makes them feel uncomfortable, which could honestly destroy your deal. So we want them to feel very comfortable. And again, we're providing a service. So we want them to feel as comfortable with this transaction and the process going forward. So a lot of people aren't comfortable, or they're not really that knowledgeable on the home selling or home buying process. So we want to educate them a little bit. So basically what I say when I get my contract signed is, hey, Mr. Seller, thank you so much for just choosing me. I can't wait to buy this property, get you the cash for it. So what's going to happen next is I'm going to bring this contract to the title company, and the person the title company, their contact, I'm going to call her Mary Sue. Mary Sue, she's going to get in contact with you. She's going to ask some of your information. Most importantly, how to get you the money, wire check, and she's going to coordinate giving you the money. Obviously, we're going to give the money to the title company, and then the title company is going to disperse the funds off to you. But that person's going to be the middleman to really make the process as simple and easy as possible for you. They're going to run the title, give you title insurance, and I'm also going to drop off my earnest money for you. From that end, it's going to be really easy on the whatever date we choose on or before to close the contract. That's when we get it done. actually close the real estate deal. And from there, we'll close on that date. But in between that, again, we're not doing any more inspections or anything like that. But my partner is probably going to want to go by the property and just see it. He's really old school. He just wants to go through there and look at it. Is that okay if they do that? 99% of the time, they're okay with that. And your partner could be your cash buyer. Again, you guys are partners because you're signing contracts, you're making money. So technically, you're business partners. So you're telling the truth there. And really say 1 or 2 partners going through it. My realtor, my contractor, just input whatever things you want to say besides partner in there. And they should be pretty much conditioned for you to go buy the property with a cash buyer. Should be pretty easy from there. Next, what we're going to do is we left the appointment. The seller's now conditioned that they're going to get a call from Mary Sue at the title company. They're comfortable with that. The reason why I go very much into detail about the Mary Sue and the title company is because the seller, sometimes sellers, if they don't have someone in their contacts, they won't answer the phone. Really, mostly the older people. And I'm in Florida, so there's a lot of older people, but really they don't feel comfortable answering a phone number that is sort of unknown or it's not in their contacts, so they might not answer it. But if I give them that phone number, they put the title company.
everything in combat, chilling, cruising, fast. You feel like doing still. 35 minutes. Alright, catch you tomorrow.